Hello, my name is Sarah Thurman. I'm here with Don Roy King, sitting in one of our studios here at Columbia College Chicago. We're here to talk about his career and the art of live directing. So welcome, thank you for sitting down with me.
My pleasure.
What's a show week look like for you?
Well, I've done this show for 14 years, and if you'd asked me 14 years ago, can a show be done the way we do it, I would say absolutely not. It's just too high profile. It's just too much going on. It's 14 one-act plays from scratch, plus 3 little films in 1 week. But the fact is, it is done in 1 week, and it is the most intense week I've ever seen in television production. We meet the host on a Monday for the first time, Monday night, and sit in a room, and the writers throw out one idea each. Most of those ideas are phony, and they don't really never develop into sketches. I think they're designed to scare the host. But that's all there is to Monday. Tuesday, the writers come in the evening and stay all night writing sketches. I do nothing on a Tuesday, nor does the host usually. Come in Wednesday, and we sit around a big table, the cast and Lorne and the host, and I sit at this big table and read 40 sketches, script in hand.
40.
40, as many as 40. And the rest of the staff and all the writers and other people fill out that room to serve as a sort of pseudo-audience. It takes hours to do that, just read through those sketches. But 8, 9 o'clock that night, Lorne narrows it down to the 12 or so sketches we'll actually mount and the 3 little films that we'll produce. And I take those selected sketches for the first time that night into a separate room and turn it over to the set design people, and the hair and makeup people, and the wardrobe people, and the special effects people. And for the first time Wednesday night, they find out what we're mounting on Saturday. And they scramble and start to work, and we come in Thursday, rehearse the guest band, go through each number twice, and then tape some promos, and then rehearse some of the simple sketches that can be done with rehearsal blocks and just stuff to pretend, just to get basic blocking. I block it on the floor, block it with cameras. Each sketch gets about an hour's time. And we might do 4 or 5 at the most on Thursday. Come in Friday, now we have some stuff to work with that has been gathered, some sets that are roughed out, and we'll rehearse the rest of the sketches, the ones that are a little more complex, and that takes all day Friday. Friday night, for the first time, we get to see the cold open. We'll get to see monologue, and at midnight go into Lorne's office, and we now see how he's laid out the show. For dress rehearsal. Come back in Saturday, now that entire studio 8H is filled with props and costumes and all the stuff we need to make it work. That just sort of appeared out of nowhere because all of those designers, all of those special people are just brilliant at what they do, and they just go out and they bring it back, and there it is. And we rehearse each sketch then straight through Saturday. For the first time, get to look at Weekend Update. First time, or sometimes the second time, get to really lock in the cold open, which may have been political, may have been written that morning, or may have been written, but the guest stars who are coming in to play politicians haven't shown up yet. So we rehearse that and then do a dress rehearsal at 8 o'clock. And that, because we have 40 minutes more material than we actually need, goes till about 10:15. 10:30, we go back up to Lorne's office. Now he's thrown out 2 or 3 sketches and reordered the whole show, and I get my script back with 100 Post-its in it. Each Post-it is a change in the script, and try my best to meet with the camera operators and get everybody on board for all of those changes. And at 11:30, the plane takes off, whether it's ready to or not, and oftentimes that ride is bumpy, but we land at 1 o'clock.
Do you direct the actors as well for the sketches?
Not as much as I thought I would, not as much as I would like to, but Lorne Michaels was a writer, and he believes it's a writer's show, and the writing comes before certainly before the directing, but it comes before the performers too. For him, that written word is the Bible, and that's what counts. And everything that we do is designed to deliver the focus of that writer's intention. And therefore, he hates it, for example, when cast members break. And they break character, and then it sometimes makes it funnier, and sometimes is a big hit, because now we're seeing Will Ferrell break up and laugh at something that Tracy Morgan has done, but it undermines the sketch. You're suddenly laughing at the actor, not laughing at the character, and and that writer's arc and where that writer was headed is what really counts to Lorne, and so he frowns on that a great deal.
Yeah. Do you think? How do you set yourself apart as a live TV director stylistically when it usually is there's an emphasis on like the technical choices? How do you make something a Don Roy King image?
When you sit in a control room and when you say, ready one, take one, the whole world sees what you've picked. And when you say cue him and that big time actor talks, it's because you said cue him. And he doesn't talk until you say cue him. And so it's very easy to get the sense that, well, this is my show. I mean, we're on the air live and everything that happens is, I'm calling. I'm the symphony conductor here. But it's therefore easy to miss what really counts. And what really counts is what the people at home see, and that is performance and the script itself. And it's my job to not have people say, wow, that's a cool shot, but to say, wow, that was a funny sketch. Yeah. And I therefore managed to suppress my ego about all of that and realize that I'm there to serve the material and to serve the performance and serve the writers and not show off.
So before Saturday Night Live, you obviously had a ton of directing experience, but none directly pertaining to sketch comedy. How was that transition?
When I first was offered the job, I thought there is no show I would rather direct than Saturday Night Live. But I'm not sure I can do that. I mean, it really is a separate set of skills. And I thought, do I really want to take the chance? Do I want to stick my neck out? Do I want to take the risk of finding out I don't know how to do this? And do I want to have butterflies in my stomach again? And I thought, I'm comfortable in what I do and I'm rewarded for it and it's satisfying, and why would I take that risk? And then I thought, well, if I don't try, then I'll have regret, and there's no worse emotion than regret. You know, could I have, or why didn't I try? I wish I had given it a shot. And I thought, if I go there and fail, I can always come back to do this kind of thing. And having butterflies is not such a bad thing. And it's been a long time since I've had butterflies, and maybe I should put my reputation and my skill set on the line and learn some new things. And I am so glad I did. That was a big risk, but as a result, I've had 14 years of by far the most enjoyable and important and rewarding work because I took that chance.
Yeah. How do you deal with that chaotic space in the control room? How do you kind of tune out other things or tune in and make sure you hear messages or whatever during all that and stay focused on monitor?
I don't think it's a conscious thing. I think that's built in, and it's something I discovered the very first time I directed. I was in a senior year at Penn State in a television production course, much like you guys do here. And we were, for the final exam, we were divided into little groups and we were supposed to go put on our own show. And I was assigned to produce or write, or I forget what, but our small group had done some exterior film work about a group that was putting on a show, and the culmination was going to be a live talk show with a whole semicircle of people, a panel, talking about this work. And the man who was assigned to direct it put the headset on, and he said, "Okay, roll tape. Okay, ready, 3, take 2. No, I didn't know. I didn't mean 2. I didn't mean take 4. Oh, we don't have 4. Oh, wait a minute. Can we start again?" And I said, "Let me try this." And so I put the headset on and I started to bark the orders and call the shots and follow the action as it happened and bark out as quickly as I could what I wanted the crew to do. And the crew was responding, and I was keeping my eye on the clock and anticipating what might happen next. And if a mistake happened, get by that mistake, move on to something else. And when it was over, I said, yeah, I could do this.
I read somewhere that you felt that you had never truly had a mentor regarding television. Is that why you love to teach and to come to things like this and speak at schools?
I was fortunate enough, and in some ways unfortunate, to have become a director 2 weeks into my career and never really got to work with other directors, and I still haven't. I might still be doing things wrong that nobody ever told me it was wrong because I had never got to see anybody else do it right. But I sort of regret that because I know that it can be helpful. And in a parallel way, I feel it's important to give back, and I know that feeling of being in your seat and thinking, how do I make a career out of this? I enjoy this. I love it in this atmosphere. But how is somebody going to pay me for it? Can I pay the rent with it? And can I find a way to do this the rest of my life? And I still, as old as I am, I still remember those feelings. And I remember the mistakes I made and the urges I had and the connections I made in ways that were valuable. And I like to pass those on. Yeah.
Thank you for sitting down with me.
Well, my pleasure.